Shalom. The ad that you see in front of you was posted in the New York subway system called the MTA. Pamela Geller is the one who designed this ad. And when she first designed it to try to put it in the New York subway, the commission wouldn't allow it. They thought it was too, they didn't say that it was racist, they just said that it was likely to inflame tensions, and they didn't want to post it. So Pamela Geller and her other associates took the case to court and won. And so these ads, I believe a few days ago, went up in the New York City subway. What happened the other day was a so-called moderate Muslim went up to the ad and tried to deface it and spray paint over it. Now, the issue here is that a lot of the ads were being monitored by small news crews to see what would happen with the ads. And sure enough, it was caught on camera what this Muslim woman did. Now, this Muslim woman, her name is Mona El-Tahawi. She is Egyptian born, and she immigrated to the United States and holds a dual citizenship. You would think she would know by now the concept of freedom of speech and the law that says you don't deface other people's property. You would think she would understand that by now, but she doesn't. In fact, while she was spray painting the sign, one of the camera people got in the way between her and the sign. And Mona, who was raped by Egyptian Egyptian police or riot police, I can't remember what she called them, who supposedly is a feminist who stands up for the rights of women, spray painted the woman that was standing between her and the sign. So apparently her love for women, her feminist activism in the Muslim world doesn't apply to American women. In order to get at this ad, it's okay to spray paint a woman in the face and on the back. Now, what Mona did was expose herself as a savage. This ad isn't talking about Muslims. It doesn't say between the civilized man and the Muslims, support the civilized man. It says savage. It's obvious that this ad is not talking about all Muslims. It's talking about Muslims who do things with the same kind of ideology in which Mona El-Tahawi damaged this property. And Mona kept claiming that she was putting her free speech over free speech. And again, I say, Mona, you've been in the United States for this long, and you still haven't figured out what private property is? Mona, you acted like the savage. You took the ad and you saw yourself in the ad. and you defaced it. Now what I hope happens to you is that you have to pay for the sign. You have to pay for the damage that you did to that woman, to her clothing, to her hair. I hope that you have a huge out-of-pocket expense from this incident that you pulled. Because what you did after you spray painted this sign was you made such a huge stink about it and pulled the race card that the MTA, the Transportation Authority, pulled all of these ads that had been fought for to be posted. They went to court for freedom of speech, and they were only up for a very short period of time before some so-called moderate Muslim, yourself, took offense and behaved like a savage. My hope is that these ads are fought for in as high a court as it takes to get them reinstated, and everyone who defaces them will face charges like you did, Mona. You were arrested. I hope everyone understands that just because Muslims like yourself act like savages and beat their chests and moan and scream and whine because of free speech and people being critical of some of the ideologies that are within Islam, I sincerely hope that someday we learn as a Western society to not give you what you want when you have a temper tantrum, when you threaten others with violence. You are only living up to what this sign actually says about you. You're living up to that role. You're saying, yes, I am a savage. When you act the way that you did, Mona, in that subway station, you know, I look at you like a little spoiled brat. You're like the little spoiled brat. And I said that to you on Twitter. I wasn't gonna swear at you or call you names, you know, racial epithets that you're claiming that all of these people are calling you these things. And yeah, I'm sure some people are. But I wasn't gonna do that. But I was gonna simply tell you that you are acting like a little spoiled brat. And one of these days, democracies are going to have their fill of the little spoiled brat who riots, pulls the race card, hurts other people in order to get their way. You know, I talk a lot about, you know, to my friends and on various videos, you know, where are the moderates? Where are they? You know, you're a spokeswoman for women's rights. I go, oh yeah. But then you throw it all away by not being able to control yourself over a poster in the New York subway. And now you've got what you want You've got somebody's speech silenced because you had a temper tantrum. You know, I was born in the United States, and I'm also a citizen of Canada. It's just life. People have different opinions. They're allowed to express them. I'm just, I get so disappointed and so hurt about my birth country that my birth country succumbs to your temper tantrum. It saddens me. But mark my words, Mona, there is going to be a day where people in Western democracies aren't going to tolerate your temper tantrums anymore. And I hope that day is soon. I really do. I know that you don't like Israel. I know that you don't like Jews. If you had any respect for yourself, being a woman who lived in a Muslim country, who was raped, who was treated like an animal, you would understand what this ad is talking about. You would understand that you're a civilized person, that you're not the savage. But apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently you are the savage. Shame on you. You are a spoiled brat, and I know karma will come around for you. It's just a matter of time. You're on Twitter, you're bragging about all the new deals and all the money that you're going to be raking in because of this last temper tantrum that you had. Should be ashamed of yourself. Really, really, truly ashamed of yourself. You're a fraud, okay? You don't care about women. If you cared about women, you wouldn't spray paint a woman in the face. Would you? You wouldn't spray over her. You wouldn't swear at her. You'd be respectful of her. All she was doing was standing between you and that poster. You pushed her. You were violent, and yet you claim to be for women's rights. You are such a fake. I hope karma comes soon. But you know, I'll be watching it when it does come.